What's up, crew? It's Chris from CloverTac. Welcome back to the channel. Now, if in a handgun you like a compact profile, you like a metal frame, and you like modern features, well, I've got a new one for you here. The newest in the Girsan high power family. The Girsan, this is going to be a mouthful, MCP35 PILW Ops. And we're going to go over this one today, so let's go. Now, since that is a mouthful, let's go over all of the features and what all of those letters in the name of this little handgun mean. First of all, we've got the PI, and that just means that it's a shorter, a little more compact version of the Girsan high powered. And I'm going to tell you, it looks phenomenal. It feels great. Now, as far as the LW, that is the lightweight. This thing being an aluminum frame comes in at a half a pound. You heard me right, a half a pound lighter than the steel version. And then when we talk about the ops, we talk about all of the modern features on this handgun. You have your accessory rail, of course. Gotta have that on any modern handgun. You got actual G10 style grips on this thing. Very comfortable, fairly decent texture. Got that extended beaver tail as well, and that really helps aid in how well this thing fits the hand, just how good it feels overall. Even though this Girsan high power is based on the iconic design from John Moses Browning, it is going to have ambidextrous safeties, no magazine disconnect, which is kind of cool, and you've got, of course, a more modern straight trigger on this thing as well. One of the things that's really cool about this and speaks to the ops designation on this front fiber optic sight, you'll notice this one has no rear. That's because they come optics ready. I've chosen to ride on tactics on this one, and the only drawback, I guess you could say, is that when you put that optic on the rear, the plate back here that you have to replace comes with that rear sight built in. Luckily, I do have a little bit of a notch in this ride-on tactics, so if I needed to, in a pinch, go to something similar to irons, I think that notch would suffice in that area. So with all that boring stuff out of the way, it's obviously time to get out on the range, put some rounds through this thing. I'll meet you out there. Welcome out to the range. Time to have a little fun with the Girsan high power MCP35 PI LW Ops. Still a mouthful. Now, I do have this thing zeroed at 25 yards, so I've got a paper target downrange at 25 yards. The little ride-on tactics red dot here. Going to be shooting two different types of ammunition today. We're going to be using some Igman 124 grain, as well as some Sterling steel case in 115 grain, both from our friends at Global Ordnance. So let's load up a few rounds and see what happens. Here we go with 5 rounds of the 124 grain. Gotta shoot somewhat rested, at least from the little K-Zone shooting rest from MTM Case Guard. My target out there is a little higher than I would like it to be. We're gonna see what we can do though. Here we go. Wow, not a bad 5-round group there. I do think that I just did a quick 25-yard zero on this little ride-on red dot. And yeah, I think that little bit to the left, a little bit high, probably didn't get quite as true of a zero as I would like. Let's move on to some 115 grain at Sterling ammunition now. Let's see what it does. 5 rounds of the 115 grain now. Again, 25 yards. Just going to go for that bullseye on the right. Now, this being zeroed with 124 grain, going to be interesting to see if there's any deviation, you know, point of aim, point of impact. I don't think the difference between the two is going to be that much. So we should, unless something is weird, we should get a similar point of impact. I expect a little left, a little high, but who knows? Let's see. Not near the group, I don't think. Group size with the steel case 115 grain. That potentially could be the steel case. Steel case known to be a little bit cheaper, a little bit lower quality ammunition. Point of aim, point of impact though, very similar to that 124 grain. And you know what, 25 yards, not bad groups at all there in my opinion for 25 yards, especially considering that even with the Igman ammo, we are running what I would consider budget ammunition. Shooting paper is fun, of course, but shooting steel a whole lot better. For those that aren't aware, this bench here, it's about 50 yards back from the berm, so we're going to double our distance now at some 6-inch steel I have down there. With the group sizes we got with that 124 grain, honestly, even probably that 115 grain would do it, but we're going to go with the Igman 124 grain. See how many out of 10 we can get on that 6-inch steel. I don't know, I've shot those 6-inch steel gongs many times from this distance, so it's just kind of a matter of figuring out my hold and then all of my fundamentals being right. I don't expect to get all 10, but we're going to do our best to see what we could do. Hold should be just at the bottom of the gong, I think. See if I could get somewhat rested up. Here we go. Oh yeah, right at the bottom edge. Not real sure how many that was out of 10. I wasn't keeping count, to be honest with you. I was concentrating more on my hold. A little 6-inch gong at 50 yards. Not terribly difficult, but no small feat for sure. But I got several. I know we got several with this thing, so pretty impressed with that for sure. From the little Girsan high power MC P35 PILW Ops. Good Lord, that's a lot to have to say. Back inside, and I don't think that was a bad showing from the little Girsan high power MCP 35 PILW Ops, except for me having to say that a jillion times and actually remember it as well. I think the group size is pretty good, being able to hit steel at all. 50 yards, pretty decent. The little ride-on tactics, red dot, did real well too. Look for a video on that coming up soon. Would like to hear your thoughts on this little handgun based on what you've seen in this video. So make sure you drop those down below. If you want to check out more from Girsan, we've got a ton of stuff here on the channel. I got you a video right here. As for this one, we're done. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And until next time, don't forget to chain fire freedom.